Welcome back. You're watching Big Deal, and let me throw that question to Mihir on the impact of Google's investment in Jio platforms. Now, Mihir, the larger picture is that at the present moment, while Jio platforms has attracted over $20 billion of investments by several investors, on the other hand, what COVID-19 situation has really thrown for all of us is a geopolitical situation where China is also getting isolated. So India probably is strategically more important for the Western world and the big giants like Google's and Facebook's. But on the other hand, what is it that investors are looking at in India? And to sum it all, will India stand to gain or lose? Because Chinese investment could also be a problem which really pumps into a lot of our startup ecosystem.
No, I think clearly, also if you look at the evolution of India's telecom, Jio has really fast-tracked the evolution of India's telecom industry. We have skipped several cycles and moved to 5G very quickly with a potential launch happening next year. So in that sense, if with major of the investments getting completed on the infrastructure layer, Jio platforms in that sense already made a move towards the application layer. And that is what really has excited a lot of strategic investors like Google, Facebook, which is where a lot of value creation will happen. So this has just opened up the floodgates for more and more foreign money to come into India.
Right, and what do you see as the big 5G play of Jio as, and how do you pitch it against the other competitors like Bharti and Vodafone Idea? Are we heading towards a duopoly as well?
So, I mean, if you look at the amount of funding which has come into Jio platforms in the last 2 months, and more importantly, the Google partnership announced yesterday, I think this addresses the two biggest bottlenecks which was ahead of Jio's rollout of 5G. One is the spectrum cost, and secondly, the device ecosystem, which has been highly expensive and underdeveloped. So what Google, launching in collaboration with Jio, launching a smartphone, a low-cost smartphone, will kind of address the data issue. And the funds coming in, as I said, has given Jio a significant war chest to now bid for the spectrums as and when the government opens up the 5G airwaves. That will allow Jio to fast track its rollout of 5G. But it's not just the Google strategic investment. You have a lot of other strategic investors like Intel and Qualcomm, which are important ecosystem players for rollout of 5G. And you should remember that Jio is an all IP network, so that their transition to 5G will be much more seamless compared to the incumbents. The problem that incumbents have right now is the baggage of legacy technology. You are there on 2G, 3G, 4G, and now we are talking about 5G. There's the overhanging sword of the AGR fee liability that they have to the government. You have debt issues, and also the dependency from Chinese hardware suppliers, where global supply chains are getting disrupted. It'll be quite challenging for them to fast track their way into 5G.
Right, indigenization of the